Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. I hope you're all good. I hope you've been having a great week so far. Enough of the pleasantries. Let's get straight into it. We are here today to look at the QSP Penguin. Now this is I guess you call it a budget knife. Here in the UK, this came in at £26. I'm guessing if you were to buy this around the world, it would probably be around that $25 dollar mark. It's a great little knife. So what we'll do is we'll get into this. I'll turn the camera around so you can see it a little bit closer while I'm doing that. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to hit that like button. If you're a returner, then hey, why not subscribe? That would be awesome. Let's turn the camera around and have a bit more of a look at the Penguin. Okay, now some details. Well, this is my second take, because as you can see, trying to do this through the camera, I just got bitten by it, but hey, the fun's of owning knives. So first and foremost, to point out about this, which are some of the details that we will cover, this does not comply or is what you consider friendly with UK knife laws. And the main two reasons for that is that the cutting edge of this knife is 80 millimeters or 8 centimeters, so it's longer than the 76.4 millimeters that is allowed, or 3 inches. Also, when it opens, it locks into place with a liner lock there. So again, it's not illegal to own this knife, but if you are carrying this in public, well, you really shouldn't be carrying this in public without good reason to do so. It's probably important for me to make that point here at the beginning. Now, when the knife is open, from the tip to the butt, it measures 180 millimeters. When it is closed, that reduces down to 103 millimeters. The actual knife edge itself, from the ricasso here to the tip, is 80 millimeters. So as I mentioned, that does take it over 3 inches if you wanted to EDC this every day, which is a shame, because it is a very nice knife, and it actually feels a lot smaller than that. I think mainly due to the fact that the grind on the knife, it's a flat grind with a satin finish, and you can just see there, hopefully, that it has the QSP logo, and on the back it mentions the steel is a D2 tool steel. So it actually feels reasonably small. I say reasonably small. It feels around that size that we're used to, around that 3 inches, but it's just a little bit longer. Now, as I mentioned, so it's a flat grind. You get a flat straight edge here, but the grind of the knife is more of a worn cliff, or a sheep's foot. Just had a load of starlings land in the bush there. That's quite noisy. The handles themselves are this really nice linen micarta. This is genuinely my first micarta knife. It feels really nice, actually. I can see why people are attracted to micarta. I think with a little bit more wearing in, then I'll start to feel some of the fibers through it, and have that nice that kind of mossy, felty kind of feel that you get to it. As far as construction, you have a single pin here, which is for the pivot, and then there are some pins at the back here that are used for spacers. Looking into the construction of the knife, with here at the back, you can see the 2 bar spacers that you have. through round to this side, there is a pocket clip, which is a deep pocket clip, and if you were wondering, it is a tip up carry when it's in your pocket. The liner on here, so you have the micarta scales, and then the liner in here also works as a liner lock, which is reasonably light to be able to close that. The pivot on this, the joint is very fluid, and there's hardly any sort of friction to this opening at all. You can see in here that these are either copper or brass. I guess they're copper, which does make them easy to open. When you close it, one thing to point out is though that there is a ball detent in here on the liner. You can, well, I mean, I can see it here. So as it gets round to a point, the ball detent drops in and it holds it closed. The difficulty is though that fixture or that fitting that holds it closed, it's not necessarily the strongest, and it's actually quite easy to open, and so much so that if I hold this, if I keep my hand here and just bang it down, you can see that it will open. That I think is may possibly be an issue to some people. It is very easy to open like that. So if you were to maybe drop this onto a bed, drop it onto a surface, then there is a chance maybe with a bounce or a certain angle that this possibly could come open, and you know be a danger. I guess it depends on how safe you are with your knives. It's very easy to open one-handed, but it's also very easy to close, which is where I got bitten here trying to close this. So again, it's just something to be aware of with this, and I'd certainly like to hear down in the description or the comments below. Does anybody else feel that this is a very simple knife to be able to close? Does anybody else have similar issues that the detent to keep it closed isn't as strong as other knives? In fact, I think of all of the knives that I've reviewed here, the detent on this is possibly the weakest of them all that I've had. Now sharpness is concerned, this is a D2 tool steel. You know, it is a tried and tested steel. Out of the box, it is razor sharp. So much so that with that down there, and it literally just falling down was enough to cut my thumb. So definitely have to be careful with that. But you know, these are knives at the end of the day. We all know that this is something that you have to be careful of. Last few things to point out really. I mean, you've got a lanyard hole here if you want. You can take this off and swap the sides. Hopefully here you can see that that's where that passes through into there and then screws in. Generally with any sort of review, when I get to the end, I try to think if there's anything that I would change about it. The only thing that I would change is just something to keep that blade in place when it is closed more. I don't necessarily think that it's dangerous, and I'm not worried that it would necessarily open in my pocket. But as I say, if you were to throw this onto a surface or to drop this, there is a good chance that it might possibly open. But other than that, you know, you know, it's a nice but budget friendly knife. Well, I think it's undeniable that it's a great quality budget friendly knife. if it is that you're looking for something that has a lot of the features that are involved in this, that would make sense that you'd probably go for this anyway, because it would fall within the brackets of the things that you're looking for in the first place. You know, you've got a tried and tested good steel on there. You've got some nice micarta scales. Depending on where you are in the world, this would be, you know, legal for you to carry. The bit that it's just that, you know, that detent is just a little bit worrying. The fact you could probably throw that down onto a bed or drop it on the floor, and it might pop out, and then you've got a dangerous situation that somebody could jump on it or fall on it. I don't know. You know, it's that was a very easy flick to get that open. Might be attractive to some people. I don't necessarily think that it deters me from wanting to use the knife. I keep it in my pocket. I never really want to flick or do that kind of movement with it, but it is just something to be aware of, that closure detent is not the strongest. That's my honest feedback. Full disclosure at this point, you know, I purchased this knife with my own money. I haven't been sent this to review or anything. I'll leave some links in the description below if you want to see a little bit more about the Penguin and where you could purchase it from, maybe in your local area. If some of those are affiliate links, that just means it helps you to help me to continue funding my channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's just a small kickback that I get. I'll also leave some links in the description below so that you can see a little bit more about me. Maybe follow me on social media. And yeah, you know, as always, like we always get to the point at the end of videos, you know, don't forget, if you've enjoyed this, please hit that like button. If you've not enjoyed it, hit the dislike button twice, just to make sure that I definitely know that you didn't enjoy it. But feel free to subscribe and also share this. If you're part of any EDC or knife groups that you think this might be useful on, then that would be awesome. But for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. The knife here is 80mm or 8 centimeters. Hopefully you can see in here as well, there is a lock in there. It's a line lock, and look at that, I just cut myself. Be careful, knives like to bite. I really have cut myself.